So welcome to another video. Here I'm just going to show you the plants have grown around the home. Hope that this video excites you, inspires you, so that at least you can learn from what I've done and even do better. That way we are all going to grow. So as you can see here, this place was recently dug up, and then some plants were grown. This is because here I had previously planted a variety of these red plants, but I tend to have loved the smaller leaves compared to the larger variety of leaves. So this plant has several different types to eat. As you can see here, we have this one which has these large leaves, and then we have this one which has very small tiny leaves. So depending on how I think one wants their space to look, you can go with the variety you want. So only here is where we had planted this, the one I've now decided to grow around the house. This one was looking so lovely to me. It was looking pinkish from the green grass that is grown around this area, this space, and so I loved this one more. There are those other people who would really want to have the bigger leaf variety, but this one I'm hoping as time goes by it will pick up, and then I loved this much. We also have this variety but in green. So my landscaper brought this from this green variety from just a neighbor, because he's working in different homes. He just picked a few and then came and planted these green ones strategically. But this other one was a gift. We were gifted one plant, just one, the way the seedlings are usually brought. And then from that one plant, we just planted a few in between, leaving a lot of gaps. And then as they grew, we added them to the spaces left. And then now we can see that from this here, we were able to pick a few suckers from them, and then we now replanted around the house. So you can just start small with whatever you have. You don't need to start big. Remember, plants also are a bit expensive, and so sometimes you can just use what you have to multiply if you're not in a hurry. But if you have enough funds, you can just go and buy enough and then come and plant. But if not, just start small with whatever you have. Another plant that I have here is this variety of grass. So this one I just planted here for it to hold for some time, because I didn't really know where to plant it. And so I planted here, this in one pot. So as time goes by, I will know where to replant them. But for now, because this compound is still being worked on, they will stay in these pots. I hope they don't die. They were not really expensive, but still with the little I have, I really would want to maximize it and still use it in different areas around the compound. But for now, it will just stay here until we know where to replant them. Here, this was also a gift to us to just spice this space up from our landscaper, and I think it was a lovely choice. We didn't have a pot then, but he got this old boiling pot. He just planted the plant, and I see the plant normally does so well. Today I was welcomed with one flower, and I'm happy with that. I think this variety of plant, depending on the color that is usually on the leaf, that's the kind of plant it will produce. So if here you have white spots, it means that even this flower will be white. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I think I have seen in most plants of this variety. If here it's red, it means this will be red. Yellow, yeah, the flower is yellow in color. So white was a good choice because I love white as flowers. So that was okay for me, and so I left it there until I get a good spot to replant it. For now, it's just going to stay there. Then we also bought some cycad. Now, cycads are very expensive. Sometimes I opt to buy plants when they are very young so that they do not become very expensive. I am not needed to spend much when buying a bigger plant. Now, because I'm not in a hurry, there was no need for me to buy a bigger plant. I just bought the smaller ones. Then I left them here. I had regrown it, replanted it here in this pot, and I just added some sheep manure to just decay there as it grows. So until I will know where to really plant it, I will then transfer it to a better place. Then these pots, I will still reuse them. I can plant something better. Now, cycads, from what I've learned or heard, I don't know, I'm yet to experience this. I've heard that they normally have very deep roots, and they can spoil foundations of structures you've put around your home. So where I'll plant this, I plan to plant it where it has no contact whatsoever with any structures that it's going to destroy, but I'll put it strategically in an area where it's seen, because it's usually a very lovely tree when it grows. So I think this one has gotten some height compared to when I first planted it, hoping to see progress when I'm back after some months. But I'm really loving what I'm seeing, and I know it's the rainwater that has been keeping it alive. I did not plant this and then place them in the spaces in there. Just left them out here, left them here so that when it rains, still it can get some bits of water, and so they're okay. And if I can look at the bottom plate, it's not looking dry. I think they were doing well. But before I leave, I'll also be just watering them to see how it grows. This one will need water. I think the grass is not doing so well because it lacks water, and then the soil looks like it's too much. I will see what to do. Maybe I'll ask the one who helps me around the compound to at least reduce the soil or replant it somewhere else where I think I can find space for it. But if not, we can just reduce the soil, and then I'm sure it will do much better compared to what I'm seeing. So this is another cycad. This one was very tiny, and where we got them, they were sold, so it was sold at a higher price. So I even wondered if it grows, if it's taller than this, how much would it cost? But we just bought them because I needed plants for these pots. I brought these pots all the way from Nairobi. Remember, this is in the rural areas, and so I did not want to leave them without any plants, and so I just planted the cycad. Here, this grass seems to do well. I don't know, because it's having enough sun, enough rain on this open space. So I think I'll take the other one and maybe plant here. So I think here it needs a little bit of pruning here and there so that the red plants that were distributed around the house will do well. Yeah. So those are the few plants we have grown around the house, hoping to add more. But my fear is sometimes you can add more, but there's no one to really take care of them fully. Until that is solved, maybe we'll add more, and then now this place will even have more plants to talk about. So until then, I think I'll end this video here. Hope you've learned a few things here and there. Share your videos to share links of other varieties of plants you have grown so that I see them, and then maybe I can go find them, come and plant, and then tell you their progress, if they are worthy or not worthy. Mostly in the rural areas. So sometimes when you go to the tree nursery, there are certain crops you just find and hope to just see how they'll grow and become. This was that one type of picked from the nursery and just came and planted. As you can see, it's the only one type that I have. So I'm hoping to see how it grows. If it looks nice and I love it, I'll add more of this variety of plant. Here too, there is this one. It comes with in red color and also green color. I just picked it up to see how it does. Usually I see it incorporated with so many plants around it, but because I really want to see how it does on its own, that's why I planted it like that. And I can see its flowers looking so lovely. I'm not sure if it grows as a bush. I'm waiting to see that, but for now it's looking nice. I planted them in between the Italian trees. This was, you cannot imagine that this was one of the first Italian trees that we grew in this place, and you can see how tall it is. It's not that tall. And then as time went by, others died, so we've kept on adding more and more Italian trees. But this one was planted last year, and this one has taken about maybe 3-4 years, and so it's very short. So during those times, I think we did have much water, but some plants just stayed on. They didn't die. And so that is what I really love about this space, a reminder of where we've come from. These plants always remind us about that. Others too that we've added, and they're doing so great, also encourages us to do much better, to continue loving plants. And so that is why I love plants. Here, this wonderful rose flower has bloomed. I think this is one of the rose plants I've found alive this time round, and I'm seeing it so nice. So this time round, when I was going to buy rose plants, I took very different type of colors. I wanted to see which colors are looking more lovely with this space compared to other colors. So the ones that I will see are looking so nice and lovely are the variety I'll be adding that same color compared to the other colors. Italian trees here recently planted are growing so tall, and I think they're looking so lovely. So this tree here was a gift to us. A jacaranda tree. It's not grown on these areas, but it's the only jacaranda tree here, and I can see it has really had so much struggle. Sometimes it could be hit here and there because people don't know this tree around this area. So you might have asked someone to come and maybe cut the grass that had grown in this space, and so you'd find that they have even chopped it, hit it. And so with that is why under here it's too sunny. I'm not able to really see what I'm trying to record. But if you can look below this plant here, there's a bend to the plant, but it didn't give up. So these are those plants that just remind us of how and where we've put much focus, any determination in trying to see a better kind of space. I'm hoping it grows well, and as time goes by, we'll be able to add more of it once I'm sure that there will be no distractions to the plants whatsoever. Here we don't irrigate whatsoever, so we wait for the rains. When the rain comes, they do well. Thank God for that. When it's sunny, we just pray and hope that they do not dry up and die, because we know that even when the rains will come back, they will still regrow, become better, and even continue growing. And then one day, I'm sure they will not really need that much water. And so I'm hoping that this space inspires you to just start. Don't look at yourself like someone who doesn't have water to irrigate, doesn't know what to plant where. Just start just know where your house will be, and then from that, what are the growths that you want to see in your space. Maybe you can start with one single room, and then you just know as time goes by I will need to expand my home. So because of that, have that at the back of your mind, and then see which areas are you really done with, so that you work on those areas as you allow the other areas to be, and you slowly grow with your space. So with that, I hope this whole clip, this video inspires you to just start, because that's the goal. Just start with what you have. We cannot just keep on postponing and saying that one day when I grow up, or when I have this amount of money, I'm going to buy this, and I come and plant them. Imagine sometimes you can grow the plants, so many of them at once, and then they just don't do so well, and then you become discouraged. Just the few that you have, a little amount of money you have, go buy enough plants for that season. Hope that they will grow. If they grow, you thank God. Then you just pick that. The ones that do not grow so well, like here, you can see here, the yellow plants do not do so well. So what did we do? We now opted to add this other variety, this other one in between. That is what you do, so that at the end of the day, you still are growing something. Then one day when everything is grown, I'm sure everything will look beautiful.